What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome to Cat Daddy Crypto's first live stream in a very long time, which hopefully is going to be an every Friday thing from here on out. Let me know if you guys can hear me, actually, because I haven't live streamed in a while and I'm not very technically sound. So please let me know if everything looks good, sounds good, before we get started here. Before I talk and talk and talk and find out nobody can hear what I'm saying. Okay. Sounds like the perfect. Sounds like everything's working. What I want to talk to you guys about today, first of all, before we start, I have got a little glass of whiskey, since we have got the new live stream backdrop in the back being a bar, clearly, as you guys can probably see. And so I've got my KASPA logoed whiskey glass. Let me know in the comment section if, since it is a Friday night, if you guys are currently or plan on having a drink at some point tonight. Okay. What I want to do is explain why KASPA is going to 50x from right now, this year. And I know the market is dumping right now. Very clearly, I know. But that is actually the reason why a 50x is even possible anymore, in my opinion, is because we are sitting at now roughly 7 cents, might even be slightly below. And for all you mathematicians out there, I'm very bad at math, by the way, but I do know that from a 7-cent KASPA to a $3.50 KASPA is roughly a 50x. And $3, anywhere from $2.50 to $3.50, is what I envision by the end of this year KASPA actually sitting at. Now, we do have to look at the fact of we're kind of getting further on into the year. We'll kind of go back and look at this later on. If it gets to a certain amount of time, if we're in Q3 and we still haven't moved in price, crypto in general, then hopefully that doesn't happen, but we're going to have to start asking questions about, are we actually in a bear market? And the top is already in. I don't think that's the case, but I think when it's all said and done, we have peak fear right now. There's always peak fear before everything turns back around. So I think when we look back and we're sitting in 2026, I'm pretty sure we're going to look back and laugh at ourselves right now, being scared that KASPA was sitting at 7 cents. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on. Okay. So it looks like poor boy's drinking some beer right now. Frank Leopard is drinking some tequila tonight. I like tequila as well. More of a whiskey guy, but I actually don't drink very often at all. It's an occasion thing for me. I'm not an every night couple of drinks to calm myself down type of guy, but when there is an occasion, I do partake for sure. Let's see here. We also had a crypto summit today as you guys probably saw in the news. And it looks like Bitcoin is going to be the only reserve cryptocurrency that the government's going to buy. But everybody got excited for the XRP and the Cardano and what was the other one? Solana. But apparently that's going to be in like a lower sort of tier and not actually as a reserve currency for the United States. So I wonder if all of those guys are crying a little bit right now. Man, I can't get comments to show up on the screen. Like I said, I'm not very technically sound, so bear with me and I apologize while I try and figure this out because maybe it's not going to work today. I'll get it fixed for next week. Sam K says, Gold was your best call. Will it pump with KASPA? Are you still bullish? I'm not sure if Gold was my best call at this point yet. I still have hope in it, though. I still hold it. But it's down a lot, as is the rest of the market. So, I mean, you can't really blame anybody for anything at this point. As far as what is outperforming, because there's really not anything outperforming all that much right now. Vinny the Doge, what's up? Cat Zaddy. Crypto Otis, glad to hear you, bro. Hope to hear you every Friday. You're the best man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm hoping that I can get in here and do this every Friday. That is the plan. So, and I'll let you guys know ahead of time if I'm not. But if you don't hear from me, then I will be here every Friday and we'll have a low-key atmosphere, bar setting, have your drinks ready. We'll talk some KASPA. We'll talk the market and just kind of chill for 45 minutes to an hour. Just poured some brandy. Long journey. Are you guys worried at all as far as the market goes? Or are you just kind of like hanging out, stacking your KASPA, and ready, waiting for everything to turn around again? I'm kind of curious. There's a lot of people out there that are actually saying that since BTC already topped before the halving, that we might have had a left translated cycle and we're not even going to get an altcoin cycle this year. Bitcoin's already topped. It's putting in higher lows and it's just going to go down into a bear market. I'm not of one that actually believes that at this point in time. But, there's always going to be people that are saying that kind of stuff. And it's usually actually that time when everybody, is calling for everything to be over and max fear, max pain, is usually when, a lot of people sell, things turn around, and that's why a lot of people don't make money in this market. The quote I put up the other day, obviously Warren Buffett, the stock market, he said, obviously, because at that point in time, crypto wasn't even around, but the stock market is where the impatient basically give money to the patient, and the patient people become wealthy. Crypto's obviously a lot more volatile, but same concept, uh, sits. I do want to pop up here on the screen though. Yeah, I agree, Jeremy. Can't go much lower, so no need to panic. Um, it's hard to imagine that KASPA can go much lower, but then again, we in crypto, it's extremely volatile. Things can do things that you think are not possible, to the downside and the upside, which is why we get these blow off tops and the euphoria, is because everybody's, says, and, most of them are right, most cryptos are scams. Why are the market caps that large? And yeah, it beats me. Most of these projects don't even have a use case, but yet their market caps are, absolutely ridiculously high. And I think that's why we see those big crashes afterwards, because it's unlogical how high the market caps go in altcoin season. I do want to bring up this chart real quick. I want to revisit this because we're gonna look at this altcoin, total 3 minus USDT on its Bitcoin pair, because I keep coming back to this. Ben Cowan talks about it all the time, and clearly he doesn't have to be right. He's not right about everything, but in all other cycles, the altcoins collectively, minus USDT, on their Bitcoin pairs, tend to come down and touch this trend line down here before we get a true altcoin season where everything goes parabolic. And if that's correct, and if this does have to happen or is going to happen, then, that's almost a 50% drop from where we are right now. As far as the collective market, that doesn't mean KASPA has to go down 50% more, which would actually, be, 3.5 cents, roughly? It doesn't necessarily mean that KASPA has to, but the market as a whole. So, a lot of your fluff and a lot of your scam projects, and Pump.Fun, I think, had a huge deal, or is a huge reason why. I apologize if you can hear the dog barking in the background. I have a dog that literally barks at cars that close their door 7 streets away. Don't know how he hears it, but he barks a lot. Anyways, if you can hear it, I apologize. The fiance is out there trying to quiet him right now. But the interesting thing, where I was going with that, is Pump.Fun. I think it just creates a ton of garbage that gets thrown into the space, token after token after token. You got a ton of people trying to catch lightning in a bottle and throwing a ton of money into these coins that just go back to zero, and they're rug pulls. And the amount of tokens that are in the space, I think, is having some sort of effect on why this does not want to fall back down here, because people keep aping into these meme coins, aping into these, altcoins that have no intrinsic value at all. They're just scam projects trying to catch lightning in a bottle, and it's just holding this altcoin market up in the meantime. And so, like I said, I don't know if this has to happen or not, but just keep in mind that in every other cycle, it did touch here, and potentially here. If it does, that means a 50% drop in the altcoin market collectively. So, it is, I guess, it's something I've been looking at, I guess, put it out there, just to kind of follow it. If it does have to happen, I would like it to just rip the Band-Aid off and happen so we can just go into altcoin season. The other scenario is QT, obviously. I think um, I think quantitative tightening is actually somewhat holding the market at bay as well, so that altcoins. I think the sun is shining onto that wall behind me. Um, Holding altcoins down until some more liquidity gets injected into the market. So those are the two things I'm really watching. I think, unless something breaks, it's apparently supposed to be June ish, where they're gonna actually go into quantitative easing, or sorry, stop quantitative tightening, and then potentially quantitative easing after that. Um, so we're just gonna hold out. I mean, what else can we do, right? There's literally nothing else we can do at this point besides continuing to DCA and holding onto our bags, hoping for the best, and hoping that, potentially Q3, Q4, maybe just Q4, we get this massive lightning, rod that just shoots up with altcoins, and we all become filthy rich. Is the goal, right? Analog crunch, haha, no, it won't happen. Nonsense. KASPA is going to 5 cents. And watch Cowan, he confirmed bear market. I did actually watch his video earlier today. He did not confirm a bear market. He confirmed a bear market if Bitcoin falls back down below $73,000 and stays there. In the next, I think, 2 weeks, roughly, is what he was saying. So he didn't confirm a bear market. He said if he basically laid out multiple theories of what could happen from now, and obviously a bear market's one of them. But he basically said that if Bitcoin falls below $73,000 in the next couple of weeks and does not come back above that rapidly, then we might be in a bear market, and it was a left translated cycle. Anyways, we're just gonna have to watch the markets. I'm not one to believe that we are actually in a bear market, but who knows? I also don't know everything in the world either, so I could be wrong, but it seems to me that the catalysts coming up monetary policy wise are going to fit right into place for the second half of this year for things to run again. But time will tell. Time will tell. 420 RZA, can I get a Bitcoin, please? Yeah, I wish. If you find one, let me know. Send one to me as well. Crypto Otis, I've always followed you because of your honesty, dude. You're awesome. Keep it up. Good work. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. That's one thing with me is I grew up in a family where my dad was a real estate agent. He passed away about 15 years ago, but he was very successful in his real estate venture because he was consistently honest. He didn't try to BS anybody, and he told it how it was, right? Even though it was detrimental to him, that's what he would do. And business for him was very good because of that. It's word of mouth. People like that kind of stuff, right? And a lot of times you can sense that in people, whether they're honest or not. So I appreciate that, Otis. BTC to potentially 73K. Then we need to bounce, not consolidate. If we consolidate, we're in trouble. I agree with that. That's exactly what Ben Cowan was saying earlier today. You go down to that level and you stay at that level or fall below that level, then things don't look all that great from here on out. But we just got to cross our fingers, you know. What we're doing right now is basically projecting out what previous cycles have done, right? As far as crypto goes. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has to happen again this time. There's only two or three data points to point at. So it's happened every other time. Is there going to be a scenario at some point in time where that changes? Yeah, probably will. Is it going to be this cycle? I hope to God it's not. Because I have a lot of money in crypto and I would love to see it go up and not fall back down 80% of where it's sitting right now and have to wait till next cycle to sell everything that I have. So, you know, it's just one of those things. It looks to me, if I were to guess, it looks like monetary policy is lining up, right? You know, for somewhere in June to where we see a reversal. But you also got to think that most summers are not good in crypto. That's why there's the phrase "sell in May and go away." May is usually an okay month, right? You get a small high in May, and then June, July, August, roughly 3 months of summer are not usually that good. Maybe this cycle we reverse that and we go the other direction. I don't know. You know, we'll see, because you know things happen, and it's just a matter of time before we actually know what's going to happen. So turn up the mic. The volume okay? Volume okay, guys? Or am I too quiet? Do you think KRC20 meme coins, such as Nacho, are done? Were they implemented too soon before KASPA pumping at some stage in the future? It's a good question. I don't think KRC20 meme coins are done. They haven't really... I think that they were launched at the wrong time. And the market ever since then has kind of been going downwards. But if we do get this blow off top that we're all, you know, thinking is going to happen, Q3 and potentially Q4 of 2025, a rising ship, what is that? What is that called? A rising tide lifts all ships, okay? That's how it goes. And the KRC20 meme coins are going to rise with the rest of the ships. I guarantee it. A lot of people bought them early on, and they've obviously gone down a lot, but you know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen. Meme coins in general are going to come back. Not every meme coin will. I will caution everybody in the KRC20 market, though, that not every single meme coin there is going to make it. A lot of them will not come back. Only certain ones will. And I still own Nacho and I still own Goad. There's going to be other ones that make it as well. It's not just those two. And for all I know, maybe those two don't make it. I think that they will, but it's not 100% written in stone there. But there will be plenty. If we get the end of this cycle and we get the blow off top and we get the altcoin season that we're all waiting for, if everything lines up, then KRC20 meme coins are going to do just fine. Especially since there's going to be smart contracts at that point out on KASPA. And the testnet for Crescendo went live, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. And the mainnet is going to go live, I believe, next month. So we're going to have the Egra Labs and Sparkle. Egra Labs, I think, is going to launch first. But both of them should launch at some time this summer. And so we'll have smart contracts live. We're going to get tier 1 exchanges as well. That's the other thing. I know it doesn't seem like it's going to happen right now, but Binance has given us, as many clues as they can possibly give us, from top to bottom, that at some point here they're going to launch. Even Coinbase now has launched KASPA futures, which usually turns into a spot listing. So it's really hard to look at that and think that they're not going to list KASPA this cycle. Excuse me. I would be very, 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 very surprised if Binance and Coinbase did not list KASPA by the end of 2025. And you've got to remember last cycle, well, those of you that were here need to remember. Those of you that weren't here obviously are not going to remember. But there was a lot of layer 1s that Coinbase listed literally right, like 2 months before the top of the cycle or less. And that's part of what, circulated the altcoin season, is that Coinbase was listing some of these projects literally right before the top of the market, and it gave a small window for the parabolic top, and boom, we went into a bear market. So it's not uncommon that they wait until we are already in an altcoin season, right, to list these projects, especially KASPA being 100% fair launched, right? They're not giving these exchanges any tokens. So it would benefit them to list KASPA at the right time so that their return on investment is immediate, right? And you don't have to sit for 3 months in a downturn where you're potentially losing money on listing KASPA. So it's a business decision for these guys, and they're a lot smarter than we are. They're giving us the tea leaves that it's probably going to happen. It's just a matter of time. We just got to be patient, right? There's a reason, and I say this a lot, but there's a reason why a lot of people do not make money in crypto, because it's times like these. A lot of people get fed up. A lot of people get super bored. A lot of people get extremely frustrated, and they capitulate and they sell. And once enough people do that all at once, that's usually when things turn around. And the small percentage of people that held on or bought more during these periods are the ones that reap the benefits. History has shown, okay? So I would imagine, if history is any indication, that we should see an altcoin season this cycle, and those of you that stay around should do very well. Just going off of history. So except the ships on the ocean floor. That's funny. KASPA's not a shipwreck. The whole market's a shipwreck right now. $0.05 KASPA because BTC is going down to 78. BTC already went down to 78, but it might go down there again. And altcoins are not keeping up with Bitcoin right now. So that's where this chart comes in, right? Bitcoin goes up, altcoins don't go up as much. They'll get a little rally. Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go down a lot more right now. And that's what's happening, okay? the that's what this chart is conpicting. I don't even know if that's a word. But the altcoins, are technically bleeding against Bitcoin. They're putting, little balances here and there. But they're just in a downtrend against Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin dominance is, I don't even know where it's sitting right now. I guess we could look at it. I don't know that I can handle that much, although it is, I thought I had it on here. BTC dominance. Maybe this is it. Yeah, 61%. So is my mic really dying? How about now? Am I just too far away from it? Is this going on? No, it's still broke. Really? How about now? How about now? Well, that is unfortunate. Just start beatboxing. You guys don't want to hear me beatbox. I don't know what's happening. Quarter of a billion. What would be nice right now is if I was tech savvy. Because when something goes wrong, I gotta have zero benefits in real time. And it looks like everybody's leaving because of my mic. Let's see here. Okay. Well. Alright. How about now? Still no mic. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the stream. I gotta fix the mic, I don't know how to do it in real time. I apologize. Thank you guys for joining. I'll get it fixed by next stream. I love you all, and I will see you next Friday.